Pretty hard. Is it?
I don't know.
Just go, just do it.
Wait.
I can cut it out later.
Is it going? Yeah.
There you go. Today on the Puppet Feeder Show, we have very few important guests. Our first guest is one of the designers. Please come on, Thomas Andrews.
Woo!
Thomas Andrews. Thomas Andrews.
Whoa! Is that a mole?
No.
Ew.
So, tell us when the construction first started on the Titanic.
You know, the construction began in 1909.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Titanic construction?
The Titanic was built next to her sister, Olympic. There were many changes to the shipyard, like the larger piers and gantries to accommodate the giant liners.
I see. Who owned the Titanic?
It was owned by the British shipping company, White Star Line.
What were some of the luxuries of the Titanic?
The Titanic offered an... The Titanic offered an onboard swimming pool, a gymnasium, a Turkish bath, libraries, and squash court.
What's a squash court?
Squash is racket sport played by two players or more in a four-walled court with a small hollow rubber ball.
Oh. What were the technologically advanced features?
She had an extensive electrical subsystem with steam-powered generators and ship-wide wiring feeding electric lights. She also boasted two macaroni radios, including a powerful 1500-watt set manned by two operators working in shifts, allowing constant contact and transmission of many passengers.
What were the luxuries of the first class?
First class offered a smoking room,
Yeah.
a closed dining saloon, a staircase foyer, a class reception room, a veranda cafe, and palm court, cafe Parisian, gymnasium, barber, library, and suites.
What were the second class luxuries?
The second class were offered a smoke room, library, and a dining room. The rooms were fitted in enamel white mahogany furniture and were very similar to the cabins of first class.
How about third class?
They were offered a smoke room, general room, and dining room. The third class cabins were not dormitory-like rooms, but individual closed cabins, thus adding privacy to the passengers, but they would still have shared their experience with the strangers.
How was the crew accommodated?
The White Star Line intended that the crew and passengers should not meet at any time during the voyage. So they had two spiral staircases connected their rooms to the boiler and engine room.
How many lifeboats were on the ship?
Only 16 wooden lifeboats, and that only carried 52 of the passengers.
What were a few differences between the Titanic and her sister Olympic?
The Titanic was 4 inches longer than the Olympic.
No way.
The exterior rooms on the Titanic were used as rooms for the passengers' personnel help. The Titanic's forward promenade deck was enclosed against outside weather.
What were some of the designers of the Titanic?
The designers were Lord William Pirrie, the director of both Harland and Wolff and White Star, naval architect Thomas Andrews, Harland and Wolff's construction manager and head of their design department, and Alexander Carlisle, the shipyard's chef, draftsman, and general manager.
Thank you for your time, Thomas Andrews. Thomas Andrews. Now for our next guest, he was the captain of the ship. Come on out, Captain Smith. Captain Smith. Captain Smith. Captain Smith.
Oh!
Hello, Frida.
Nice to finally have you on the show, Captain Smith.
Pleasure. So mine.
Please tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the Navy naval officer and the Titanic's captain.
Ew. I heard you died on board the ship when it sank. Is that true?
Yes! What? I died in 1912!
Wow, that stinks. So, what were the Titanic stops?
It started from Southampton, England, and it was going to New York City, New York. It stopped at Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown Island on the way.
Cool. Well, it was nice having you on on the show, Captain.
Pleasure's all mine, sweet thing. Is that a mole?
No. Now please come out, Frederick Fleet. He was one of the men who spotted the iceberg directly ahead of the ship. Frederick Fleet, Frederick Fleet, Frederick Fleet. So when did you spot it?
About 400 miles south of the Grand Banks of Newfoundland.
What else do I have here?
Wait, you can't finish it?
No, I can't.
Who was the other man that spotted it with you?
Reynold Lee.
How did you inform everyone?
I sounded the ship's bell 3 times and telephoned the bridge yelling, "Iceberg right ahead!"
That's epic. Then what happens?
You'll have to ask Murdoch about that.
All right, coming out, Murdoch, 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 Murdoch.
Yo, yo, yo!
What did you
So-
do after Fleet yelled?
I ordered to hard starboard. We tried to turn away from the iceberg, but the collision was inevitable.
And then?
And then 5 compartments were filling up with water, and that was weighing down the ship.
What was the distress called? Sent out.
Shortly after midnight,
Midnight. Who responded?
a few boats did. The Mount Temple, Frankfurt, and Titanic sister ship. Olympic, but none was close enough to make it in time. The closest ship to respond was Carpathia, and that was 58 miles away.
How long did it take for the Carpathia to come?
It arrived in a few hours, too late to rescue all the Titanic passengers.
When were the lifeboats told to be ready?
Shortly after midnight.
Which one was launched first?
Lifeboat 7.
And minutes after?
Lifeboat 5.
Who were loaded first?
Women and children.
Were men loaded on the lifeboats?
Yeah, Officer Murdoch let men on board if women were absent. Officer Lightoller allowed men on board only if oarsmen were needed and if there was room.
How many passengers were on board? You're captain now. Pretend you're captain. Scribble all over your face. We have to do this over. We can cut that part out. Alright. You know how to do that? Yeah. Wait, scribble over your face. You said you can scribble it out. Just pretend you're captain now. Alright. Oh, that sucks. She's gone. Good job.
There's more.
Okay.
How many passengers were on board?
How many passengers were on board?
In total, there were 2,223 passengers altogether. There were 329 first class, 285 second class, 710 third class, and 899 crew members.
You're back, Captain Smith, new Captain Smith. I thought you died.
Yeah, but I knew the answers to the questions, so I figured I'd come back.
Oh, okay. So how many of each class survived?
199 first class, 119 second class, 174 third class, 214 crew, so altogether 706 survived.
How many in all were lost?
Let's see, 1,517.
Wow, that's over 65%. Lost. How many families were affected?
Over 500 families.
What day did Titanic sink?
On April 14, 1912.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Thank you for watching, coming. Thanks for watching G Block. Give shout outs to Mr. Eckstein, my G Block class, and you said shout outs?
No.
This is a new Captain Smith. Faith left.
Okay.
It's over. Thanks for watching. Can we edit all the parts that